everyone. I am super excited to be here live for Trim and Transform Day. I am very excited. I know that this day, as part of our Vitality event, has attracted a lot of interest, and I've got some remarkable research that I would love to share with you from some of the latest findings in the field. And I'm going to go through some of those findings. I'm going to share with you today. It really is 3 products. Yesterday I realized, hang on, it was 4. There was just 2 in the one category, but 3 products that I'm going to share with you today from Urban Retreat that are really designed to help with this trim and transformation process. And I'll tell you a bit about those and some of the remarkable ingredients in those. Hello, great to see so many of you joining me live. Hey Gina, Amy, Leanne, Julie, lots of you popping in tonight. Debbie, Samshan, wonderful. And then I'm going to finish by sharing another couple of little tips that are going to help you. So I've got a couple of pages of notes because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything important. So let's dive in. First of all, what I want to talk to you about is some of this latest research that's come to light just in the last 5 years. So a lot of people haven't heard about it yet. It hasn't really, it's really only recently started catching on in mainstream understanding about weight loss. And the original, I guess, creator of this new finding herself has quite a remarkable background that made her look at a weight loss process with completely different eyes to traditional methods. So she's actually a mathematician and geneticist and biochemist. So that is a convergence of very different ways of thinking and very different level of understanding that she has brought to the field. And it's really turned it on its head a little bit and created some remarkable results. And today I'm going to share with you 3 simple hacks that you can incorporate into your life that should make quite a remarkable difference. So these, the results that I'm talking about relate to glucose and blood glucose levels. Now, previously, it was thought that blood glucose was only relevant and something to be monitored for diabetics or people at risk of developing diabetes. But Jessie's research has shown that that's actually not the case. Glucose is actually a really vital element for all of us to be monitoring. And I wrote down a couple of notes here that I wanted to read to you. If we have too much glucose in our system, we put on weight, we feel tired and hungry all the time, we have skin breakouts, we develop wrinkles faster, and our hormone balance suffers. So that's a really huge number of reasons, even outside of weight loss as a focus, as a reason to be monitoring your blood glucose levels. So even somebody trim like myself still needs to monitor blood glucose levels because of all the other things that it also impacts. Also, too much glucose in your blood, doesn't matter what your weight is, contributes to type 2 diabetes, cancer, dementia, and heart disease. So it's a massive thing in our body that we need to be aware of. Hello, great to see so many more of you joining. So what Jessie has discovered, and she has a French last name that I can't pronounce, Jessie Inchospé, something like that, has discovered is some simple hacks that can help us keep that blood glucose level stable. Because the problem with blood glucose is that you age faster and you're more likely to put on weight if you're on a roller coaster with it. If you have a spike and then a crash, what does that do? you feel like you need sugar again to pick you back up. And then you have another spike, and then you crash again. And then you need to eat again to keep yourself feeling good, because those crashes feel terrible. So having those mid-afternoon slumps is a sure sign that you could be having some blood glucose issues. If you feel like you can't get through a day without satisfying your cravings, and it's usually blood glucose issues are usually symbolized by cravings for sweet or carb-rich foods. So if you feel like, oh yeah, that's me, it doesn't matter what your weight is, you could still have these issues. But if you are a little larger than you'd prefer to be, then monitoring your blood glucose and keeping it stable can make a massive difference for you quickly. Because if you can keep a stable blood glucose level and you're not having the spikes, then you're also not having the crashes. And it's during the crashes that you're most likely to want to lift yourself back up with starchy or sweet foods. So you can imagine that if you take away those spikes and crashes, you're less likely to be eating to give yourself that pick-me-up. So that in itself is a really big reason to be keeping your blood glucose levels stable. But there's the hacks that I want to share tonight go even further than that. It's ways that you can actually minimize your body's absorption of glucose. Because if you're not absorbing the glucose, then you're not putting on as much fat, because the glucose is stored in the body as fat. So some of these hacks, I'm going to share 3. In her book, which I'll show you in a minute, she shares 10. But I would be here all night going through them all. So I'm just going to share 3 that you can get started with, and I will, if you're interested in diving further into it, I'll share the details about the book as well. But first of all, she suggests a simple way to reduce your blood glucose spiking is to go with eating your vegetables first. So if you have a plate put in front of you, then always try to eat your vegetables first. But if you're going to have, say, a pasta dish, and you can't really separate out the bits of tomato or whatever is in there, then it would be ideal to start with a salad starter. It doesn't have to be big. Just a really small dish of salad is all it would take, or a few bits of veggies is all it would take. And what that does then is that the fiber from within the salad or within the vegetables is going to coat your digestive system. And then any of the starches and sugars that you might eat after your vegetables don't cause as much of a damaging impact. They're not as absorbed into the bloodstream as quickly to give you those spikes. So you are able to keep your blood glucose levels more stable and just not absorb as much of it. So really fascinating. All you have to do is change the order that you're eating some of your foods in, and maybe add a little bit of salad prior to what you know is going to be a really starchy meal. So the next hack is another simple one. She suggests that you make sure your breakfast contains some protein, because that is going to help you to keep your blood glucose levels stable as well. So it could be good old bacon and eggs. It could be a protein shake that you have. I have one that has protein powder. We mix in some nuts and some seeds, and try to make sure that we've got plenty of protein in there. I know people that will have baked beans. I don't know if there's much protein in that. So you have to really start thinking about, okay, the worst thing you can do is what most of us have been raised on, and that is a bowl of cereal and orange juice. You know, we were raised to think that that's a healthy start to our day. She's discovered that that's literally the worst thing you can possibly do to start your day, because it is setting yourself up for the roller coaster to start from the very beginning of the day. So if you can have a protein-laden breakfast and or start with vegetables. I know some people who are doing intermittent fasting and don't eat anything until lunchtime. And if that's the case, great. Just make sure that you start your lunch with a salad. Don't just dive straight into a sandwich or toast, because that's going to still, doesn't matter when you start eating, it's still going to set you up for that roller coaster. So just be a little mindful of what you're starting your day with. And I don't know too many people who are willing to start their day with a salad, especially if they're breakfast eaters, but perhaps some kind of smoothie or shake with a protein powder or some nuts, perhaps some yogurt, so long as it's got plenty of nuts on top. Just be a little mindful. See if you can shift some of your habits, even if you start by, okay, one day a week I'm going to try this, and see how much better you feel for the day. I find when I start my day with a protein-laden breakfast, I'm not hungry until lunchtime, because I'm not giving myself those blood sugar spikes. But when I'm traveling, I can't necessarily have my ideal breakfast. And sometimes I resort to a bowl of cereal. And I find if I do that, by 10:30, I'm starving. And I could have consumed the same number of calories in my cereal as I did in my shake, but the way your body processes it is completely different. So if I'm not starting with the protein, then by the time I get to morning tea, I need another big intake of calories just to keep the blood sugar stable. So you end up eating more calories because of that blood sugar spike. So hopefully that makes sense. But it's, Weet-Bix with boiling water is like literally the worst thing you could do. The only thing worse you could do with that is add orange juice. So it's a bit of a shift in our thinking, and it's not how we've been raised to feel is a healthy breakfast. So I know that we're challenging some conventions here, but it is revolutionizing people's weight loss and health. So maybe just start experimenting with this. Be open to new ideas. And now the next thing is, I have good news. You can still eat what you like, but keeping your blood sugars stable. So just for example, say that you really want to have a treat, and you know it's your birthday. You've got chocolate cake there, you have to have some. You just have to monitor when you have it. So instead of having, say, it for afternoon tea by itself, avoid doing that, because it will not cause you anywhere near as much damage to your body if you have it after a meal, whether it's lunch or dinner or breakfast, it really doesn't matter, where you've eaten in the right order. So if you're starting with your salad, then your proteins, and then your carbs, you can have your treat then, because it is not going to cause such massive spikes to your blood glucose levels. So you can have your treats. You just might have to change when you're having them. So if you would normally have a dessert, for example, but you wait till an hour and a half after dinner. You let your dinner settle, you settle on the couch, you watch some Netflix, and then you think, right, I'm going to go and get my treat now. That is the second worst thing you can do after starting your day with a bad breakfast, because you're finishing the day poorly. And then having that kind of blood sugar spike is going to wake you up in the middle of the night. So if you instead, all you have to do is move that snack forward, earlier, closer to your main meal. and then it's not going to have the same damaging effect. So a few little hacks can make a massive difference. No, Trudy, you can't have your cake for breakfast, but you can have it after your breakfast if you're having protein first. Okay, but really nice try. I like the way you think. Okay, so for those of you who are curious about this, if I've piqued your interest with this and you want to know more, and you can read a lot more about the science behind it all, as well as hearing about some remarkable transformations in people's lives by grabbing her book, The Glucose Revolution, and or The Glucose Goddess Method. So after this training, I've got a post coming up where you can see details for those books as well. So for anybody that's curious. But the good news is that Urban Retreat also has a couple of products that are going to help you with this process. They're designed to help stabilize your blood sugar levels, because I've just explained to you how damaging it can be to have those spikes and how important it is to try and moderate your blood glucose level. And I've given you some hacks so that you can incorporate them, but we know we're not always going to get it right. And the better that you can do with those hacks, the better you'll be, the healthier you will be. But Urban Retreat does have a product that can help you with it. So you don't have to be as perfect with it to try and moderate those blood glucose levels. So imagine if you're doing both. You're doing some of the hacks and you're incorporating these products into your daily life, then you could really make a dramatic difference. So we have, Leanne says yogurt then cake. I think you could probably get away with that. So we have Body HydroSlim Plus is the product that is going to revolutionize your trim and transformation journey. And this product has been clinically proven to help you with that process. And it's just packed full of amazing ingredients. I've written down some of them to go through it with you so you can understand why it's so good. But with this product, you sip, I think it's 10 mils. Is that right? I should know this off the top of my head because I do it daily. But 10 mils into a 500 ml bottle of water. So Urban Retreat does sell bottles that have the markings on it, so you can see where you're up to. But any 500 ml bottle of water, and you want to be sipping it throughout the day. You don't want to chug it all in one, because then it's really only going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels at that point in the day. You want to be sipping it throughout the day because it's going to help stop the big spikes. And just by doing that, just by helping to stop those big spikes, just that one action is helping to reduce your cravings, reduce that need for that sugar lift to get you back on stable once you have a crash. But this product does more than just that. It also has ingredients in there that help to suppress your appetite in the first place. So that's going to help with that trim and transformation journey as well. It also reduces bloating because it has wonderful ingredients to help the digestive system along, and it increases your energy. So this is a pretty remarkable product. Now, I don't personally need it for weight loss, but I do like to have it because I know how good it is for my body to keep my blood sugar levels stable, and I like how I feel on this product because it makes me feel energized and like I'm just working well. I can really tell when I'm having this. And I also find that it's a great way for me to maintain my current weight because I'm not having the cravings for the sugary junk. I'm not having the crashes at that afternoon tea break. And if I'm not doing the perfect thing, if I'm running late and I have a bad breakfast, or I'm traveling and I don't have a great breakfast, this helps me to keep things more stable. So it's a good sort of hack to help keep me on track, even though I do try to follow the glucose goddess method as much as I can as well. So this is just remarkable. It is actually Urban Retreat's best-selling product globally, and having independent clinical trials that have proven its effectiveness really can give you that confidence to know that it's going to make a difference for you as well. So I'm just going to share a couple of the amazing ingredients. It's power-packed full. I think it's got 12 incredible ingredients in there, but it's clinically proven for weight loss and BMI reduction. It has rhodiola root, which is a natural adaptogen, which helps to increase your resistance to stress and anxiety. So I think that is partly why I just feel good on this product. It has cola seed extract as well, which is known to support slimming by helping the body burn off fats. I love that. And your results will start to appear gradually after a few days of use, but they say you should see a notable difference at the conclusion of even your first bottle. So 28 days, and you should notice a really significant difference for yourself. And oh yay, Jacqueline, thanks for sharing that. She says, I have found that because I'm not looking for the sugar fixes, I'm able to concentrate better throughout the day as well. And that's because you're not having those big spikes which make it really difficult. It's making your brain work harder when you're having that constant roller coaster. So helping to stay off the roller coaster is a really good thing. So anybody watching here now, make sure you tag your friends or any of your VIP customers if you're a consultant watching, so that we can make sure that the algorithm sees this live and shares it out for as many people as possible, so that these incredible tips are out there to help everybody. Okay, so now I mentioned that yesterday that I was going to come back and share more tips about exercise. And so yesterday I made it really clear that any exercise is better than no exercise, and that benefits really kick in after doing 3 lots of exercise for 30 minutes each week. But if you want to really enhance your results and speed up your results, specifically related to weight loss, not just necessarily general all-around health, which is what I was talking more about yesterday, energy and vitality. But if you are really targeting exercise for weight loss, there are a couple of things that you can do to make it more effective. So they've discovered that low intensity exercise at 70% of your maximum heart rate for a sustained period of time is what's going to have maximum benefits for fat loss. So to calculate your maximum heart rate, and don't worry, you don't need to write this down now because I do have a post that will come up after this live. But to calculate your maximum heart rate, if you're not familiar with these formulas, is the 220 minus your age is your maximum number. And then you want to work out what 70% of that is. And whatever that number comes out to is the figure that you aim to keep your training within that range. So for me, it's quite low. Like, I need to try and keep my heart rate at around 119 beats per minute. And I find I can do that with a walk, reasonably brisk, but not that fast, or a fairly slow cycle on a stationary bike. They're the 2 ways that I do it. With a walk, you have to find somewhere flat, because what you want to try and avoid is walking up a hill and spiking your heart rate up above that baseline that we're aiming for, that 70% of your maximum. And just because that when you're staying at that range is when you're maximizing your fat loss. So it's also really great for your heart to be exercising in that range. Great for your overall cardiovascular system. It's actually tapping into different energy systems within the body, different ways that you exercise. So for this fat loss method, we really want to be tapping into the right energy system. And to do that, we have to be staying within that bound of your maximum heart rate. And don't worry, if you get to your maximum heart rate with a very slow stroll or very slow cycle, that's fine, because it's going to be doing its job. It's all about your individual target zone. So really, really helpful to know that. But it's also best to do this for a little longer period of time. Like aim for 40 minutes, and depending how quickly you want to lose weight, they suggest you can even do it up to 5 times per week. But it is going to be far more effective than what I see a lot of people do who come into the dojo and I'm training them. They come in for weight loss, and they push themselves to extreme, and they're going running and they burn out too quickly. Also, their joints haven't necessarily adapted to the volume, so they get injured quickly, and it's just not sustainable. So starting out with this really sustainable exercise regime is going to be much better for your fat loss journey than pelting yourself full tilt and running on a treadmill as fast as you can run for as long as you can run is not going to be as beneficial for you. So I guess this is your permission, if fat loss is your goal, to take it easy. Slow and steady, in this case, really does win the race. So, and yeah, hanging out the washing as working as exercise, that's great. If you can sustain your heart rate in zone for that, that's excellent. Okay, resistance training, for those of you who want to take it a notch further, is going to, with the intention with this resistance training to increase muscle mass, you are going to set yourself up for a fabulous life, because it's going to do so many wonderful things for you. But because tonight we're really talking about weight loss, it's brilliant because more muscle mass in your body helps to boost your metabolic rate. Now, what that really means is that your body is going to be burning more calories even when you're resting. So you want more muscle. And it's also going to give you better vitality in old age, better joint health, bone health, boosted mental health, and boosted cognitive function. So there's so many reasons to add a little bit of resistance training in. And it might be that you need to start with that slow training first before you add anything else. But if you feel like you're ready for it, then adding a little bit of resistance training, maybe even just some body weight resistance training, could be enough to get that process started. I certainly started with body weight only, and just doing some squats or some push-ups, even if it's on your knees. Those sorts of things is all it will take to start building a little bit more muscle strength and definition, which is going to really help. So there you go, a little bit more about exercise. By now you might be able to tell that I'm a health and fitness fanatic, but remember that 5.5 years ago I was in a critical care acute stroke ward, and I struggled to walk from one end of the room to the other. So if I've managed to come from there, then you can improve where you're at just by celebrating small milestones along the way. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is a pretty remarkable product. And because we all want to have cheat meals every now and then. Life isn't about being constantly obsessing over what you're eating, and it's about living. It's about enjoying as well. But you don't want to feel guilty if you know that you're on a weight loss journey. Then it would be really handy to have a magic pill that helps to reduce the guilt, wouldn't it? So Urban Retreat has created cheat capsules, a little tablet that you can take up to an hour before to an hour after, somewhere in that time frame, when you've eaten a meal that is high in fat content. Now, this little capsule has just 2 ingredients, just 2. And one of those ingredients is renowned for its ability to bind to fat. So it actually forms little fat globules with the fat that you've eaten. And these globules are too big to be absorbed into your bloodstream. And then they pass straight through your digestive tract. It's not going to send you off to the toilet or anything like that, but it is a remarkable way to reduce the impact of a cheat meal. And it doesn't work on sugar. It's got nothing to do with your blood sugar levels or stabilizing those. That's what you need body for. But for any meals of high fat content, it's going to help reduce the negative impact of that. So that's something that you might like to add to your list of tools to help you on your journey. So the other ingredient in there is CLA, which is known to aid in the regulation of blood sugar. So it will help a little bit with that. But it's also got anti-inflammatory properties. And some evidence has started to come through from animal studies that it may have anti-carcinogenic properties. Now, we are not claiming that this is an anti-cancer drug, nothing like that. But it does have ingredients that are remarkable for what they've been found to be doing for positive things in your body. And I think they're great things to be on, whether it's proven to be effective for anti-carcinogenic or not. It's certainly not going to hurt. So just handy to have really good quality ingredients that you're putting into your body. So that is cheat. Now, the last product that I'm going to share about tonight is an incredible product for inch loss. And from your very first application of this product, you will notice a difference. And this one has absolutely nothing to do with exercise or blood sugar levels or what you're eating. This one will work regardless of all of that. It is incredible. It is our liposculpting fluid. Comes in a pretty blue box, but is a gold packaging for the actual product. And I think this is my favorite. I think I've said that several times over the last 2 days, but genuinely, this is my favorite because it is remarkable. You can see a difference straight away. So this one, again, clinically proven by independent clinical trials to reduce localized fat, firm the stomach, bottom, and thighs, reduce cellulite, reduce fluid retention, and improve skin elasticity. It has Liftonin Express in it, which is extracted from red seaweed, and it promotes long-lasting tightening and smoothing of your skin. And caffeine, which of course helps to reduce cellulite. That's quite a well-known ingredient for that. But we also have our patented IsoSlim complex in here, which is proven to slow down fat cell reformation as well. So absolutely remarkable ingredients. So this product is an alternative to going and having liposuction, which is expensive and comes with pain because you have to have injections, and then you have to have your fat sucked out, and then you've got downtime for recovery. And This product, with our patented microencapsulation technology, we've found a way to encapsulate the active ingredients and positively charge them. And our skin is naturally negatively charged. So those quality ingredients are attracted into the skin, right down deep into that fat layer, where then this encapsulation, which is formed with a protein naturally found in our skin, dissolves so that the active ingredients are able to be delivered directly to where the fat is stored. And those ingredients are breaking down the triglyceride, which is a lumpy form of fat, and turning it into a free fatty acid, which can then easily sort of leak out of the cells into the intercellular space. Now, that is what they do when they're injecting people for liposuction. They're injecting these kinds of quality ingredients into that fat layer to do the same action, to turn the triglyceride into a free fatty acid. And then that fatty acid that's floating around in the intercellular spaces, they then suction out. But with our product, we have found that we can, once we've transformed the triglyceride into that free fatty acid, it can then be naturally removed from the body via the lymphatic system. And it's not a dehydrative product. A lot of inch loss sort of products, they rely on dehydrating you. And then as soon as you drink, you put back on the weight. It also, being dehydrated is not healthy. We're the opposite. We're saying it's actually ideal if you drink a little bit more when you're using this, unless you're one of the wonderful people who is already having your 2 liters of water a day, or your 8 glasses, in which case you don't need to increase your fluid intake. But if you're not already doing that, adding an extra glass of water when you're using this product is just going to help your lymphatic system work more efficiently and help your detoxification and removal process work most effectively to get rid of that essential fatty, those free floating fatty acids out of your body. But there's something else you can do as well to help with this process. So you've just taken a lumpy triglyceride fat cell and put it into the intracellular space in the form of that free-floating fatty acids, which can then be removed by the lymphatic system. So what's happened is, in your cells, you've now got a space where there used to be a lumpy fat cell. So if you apply compression to as a part of this process, it's going to speed up the process, because it's telling your body, oh, there's space, we can shrink in. And all of our clinical trials were done on this product without using the compression. So it will work without compression, but it will just work faster if you apply compression, because it tells the body faster, shrink in. So we have, if you're applying it to stomach and thighs, backside, perhaps that common target area, then Spanx works well, or buying a pair of yoga pants that's one size too small, so they're really tight, is fine. Anything like that can work really well in those areas. And apply compression for 45 minutes. Then you can get out of the uncomfortable yoga pants if that's what you're doing, or take off the Spanx. So we've seen people apply this around their midsection and use a tape measure, and then go back after the 45 minutes of compression, and they can see over an inch lost in their first application. So really remarkable. Now, several of our consultants have in stock compression armbands. For anybody who wants to work on the tuck shop arms, or the bingo arms as you might refer to them, then these armbands are designed for compression in that area. And if your consultant doesn't yet have any of these available, they're $9.95 for a pair, then come back and message me and I can get you some. Or if you want to get rid of the double chin around this area, then, or the flabby skin that can appear there, we also have these very sexy chin straps that you can apply. I won't put it on now because it'll interfere with my things, but oops, twisted. But basically, you get the idea. You Velcro it on at the top and leave it on for 45 minutes. And it's not comfortable, I'm not going to lie, but gosh, it works. So if either of those areas are of concern, you can add these to enhance effectiveness. They're only $9.95 for this, $9.95 for a pair of these. And several consultants do already have them in stock. But if your consultant doesn't have them, then I can get them out to you. So just come back and request some from me. So now, application. How do you apply this? It's important that you apply a generous amount. If you're using this on a fairly large area, say your stomach or your thigh area, then you might want to expect that you would get about 8 applications out of a tube. So it's not the kind of thing where like a moisturizing tube this size would last you months. No, this is like a at-home clinical treatment, and you'd be using like a palm size amount, and you need to be fairly vigorous with rubbing it in. They say rub it in for 5 minutes in a circular motion, because that's going to start to stimulate the lymphatic drainage. It's also going to help to push the microencapsulated active complex into that deep layer of the skin. It's also important that you have clean skin first, so don't apply any moisturizers on. It's most effective doing it after a hot shower, not a hot shower, but a warm shower. And don't use any oily sort of shower gels in the shower, because that can block the product from getting into the skin. And it's ideal to exfoliate prior to doing it as well, because then you're just getting rid of any dead skin cells that might block its absorption straight into where we need it to be. And once you've been massaging it in for that 5 minutes, you should find it should be a bit tacky, and then you know, right, I'm done, it's ready to go. I find it difficult to massage. I don't have chin problems, but I tested it on everywhere, so I know what it's like. But I did find it hard to keep massaging for 5 minutes on the chin area, because there's not very much surface area to massage, but you'll know when you've done it for long enough because it's gone tacky. So brilliant product. You will find, if you scroll through this group, you will find some before and after images that will blow your mind what this product is capable of helping you achieve. Now, if you're using it for inch loss, they suggest that you use it 3 times per week, including compression. And if you are using it for cellulite loss, then daily is fine. Daily application for removing cellulite is fine. So I don't need it for inch loss. I seriously don't have an inch to lose, but I love it because it's the only product I've ever found that has gotten rid of my cellulite. So last year I was training for the World Championships and my black belt. So I was training 10 times a week and I could not get rid of my cellulite. And then I found this 1 tube later, and it was dramatically different, dramatically. Now I choose to use this. I will, each bottle I purchase, I choose to focus on an area rather than going, right, I need to do my, my bum, my thighs, my stomach, my chin, my arms, whatever, and do a little bit everywhere. I feel like you might notice significant change if you're trying to spread it over everywhere. So just pick a target area, work on that. Get a new bottle, pick a target area, work on that. Get a new bottle, depending what areas you want to work on. That's my recommendation. Everybody finds a different way that works for them, but I have found my customers that have chosen to go that route and pick an area to focus on with a tube, messaging me back going, oh my God, where has this been my whole life? And you are going to love it too. So it's just amazing. I also have actually, yesterday I got a message from a customer who had twins 2 years ago, and she just hasn't been able to get rid of all that flabby skin. She doesn't have a lot of weight to lose, but she had a lot of loose skin, and it's really making quite a massive difference for her with that. So, and that's because of that IsoSlim complex that's helping to tighten the skin structures. So amazing, amazing product. Okay, I could talk about that forever. I better move on. Then, last thing that I wanted to share with you is that this month, we did have it last month. We've got it back this month because it was so popular, but I can't guarantee that it will come back again because we usually get a completely different range each month. But it is one of our bundle offers this month. The Your Body Sculpt bundle, it's called. If you go into the offers section on the website, you'll see it there, and that's a way that you can get these two beauties at 15% saving. But of course, your VIP customer deal is that you get an additional 10% off that for your first order each month as well. So I recommend grabbing one of these bundles this month. Don't fret if it shows out of stock, because sometimes it sells out within a day and then we have to wait for the warehouse to refresh because it is so popular. But they have assured me there is a lot of stock. So if it shows out of stock, go back and they may have refreshed it. So quite a bargain, and I really recommend if you're on a trim and transformation focus for your life, then all three of these products, cheap when it's back in, and these two beauties will notice a huge difference with them. And even though I don't need to trim in, I still keep cheap in my handbag because every so often, if I'm out and about, I don't want to feel guilty about the meal. I want to enjoy it. I don't do it regularly. I'm not saying that you can eat whatever diet you want and you'll still lose weight if you're having these, because it's only going to be able to absorb so much of the fat that you're consuming, but it will help. It will help take the edge off it. It's not going to make it as bad for you. So, so if you're like me and just wanting to maintain your weight, then it could be good for you too. So I'd love to know what you thought. What are your questions? What do you want to know? What are you excited about? The consultants who are watching this, what have you tried? What are you loving? Let's have a look. I'm going to go back through and see some of the comments now. Leanne J, did you run out of lipo? Getting some more on its way. I think that might be what we were talking about there. Debbie, my 4 chins will fill in the 5 minutes. Lol. God love you. Well, let me know if it takes you that long to work on your chins, and come back to us. Don't forget as well, all of you, take before photos, because I had a customer that took a before photo, and she'd gone through last month one of these bundles, the body and lipo bundle, and she said, I don't know, Christina, I think it's made a bit of difference. I said, well, go and take another photo and see what we can see. And we were shocked. She was just starting to feel a little bit of a difference, but we could visibly see a difference. And so she stocked up on some more of these bundles. But it's just really encouraging for you if you can see a difference. So especially when you're on an inch loss journey, it's fabulous. Don't forget as well, take a measurement. If you're going to focus on your midsection, take a measurement first. And even though I didn't feel like I had any weight to lose, I was working on some cellulite, but I found that the little bit of love handles that I did have are gone. So it's quite amazing, quite amazing. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Oh wow, Jacqueline, I've been using the liposculpting on my stomach and hips, dropped a whole pant size. That's so wonderful to hear. I'm hoping that with the combination of the glucose hacks that I shared to help you stabilize your blood sugar level, the body product to help with that even more, the cheat capsules to help reduce the impact of a cheat meal, and the liposculpting fluid, we're going to feel like we're all flying towards our goals, because if we're combining improved eating behaviors, improved exercise with these products that are designed to support all of that, that your results are going to be magnified and wonderful. So I'm hoping to do a bit of a regular feature in this group to support those of you who are on a bit of a health journey. And so I'll be here to check in, to give ideas, to give tips. Some of them will be hacks that apply to your general life. Some of them will be product-related tips and tricks. So thanks for everybody. Oh, and Julie, so true. You definitely don't have any weight to lose, but yes, we can still store fat in our arteries, which is why it's good to be having, these products like Cheat and Body, because it's not just about how we look, it's about our internal health as well. So true. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. And to those of you watching the replay, let me know in the comments that you've watched and what tips you're going to try. Okay, bye for now.